Today we're going to show you the reality of living that lowrider life. Yep, it's the reality.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a street who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out.
As you can see today we have a little shock tower that has been ripped off the mini truck here. You guys have probably seen this mini truck around. We did some powder coating on it. He's done a ton of work to it. Derrick over at Japanese Mini Truck, he's got a YouTube channel as well. It's freaking awesome. Check it out. All right, guys, you probably recognize this truck. Maybe not because it's sitting on a lift, because it looks like it's lifted, but this truck is usually scraping on the ground. It's that Japanese Mini Truck. He's all over social media. My buddy Derrick, we've done some powder coating on it for him as well in another video. He's all over social media. Check out his YouTube channel. I think it's Japanese Mini Truck. If not, I'm going to put a link in the description anyway. But we're going to fix his shock tower today because basically his shocks are a little bit too long. This thing's usually scraping on the ground, and it's been pounding on that frame to the point it ripped the actual frame horn off, which I think just fell on the floor. There it is. So basically we got to clean this up, grind her down, and get it glued back on for him. Unfortunately, it's not real accessible. Of course, it's on the fuel side under the intake where you literally can't get at one side without pulling the entire intake, which he's not interested in doing at this time. So today it's going to be a weld as best we can get it welded for where it's at. So basically I just went ahead and took the battery out of this thing, the airbox out of it, moved the fuel line out of the way, and kind of tied it off out of the way. We're going to be using some heat blanket in there. We're going to clean these welds all up, the sheared points off, and then get in there and get some welding done. And he's going to have to get some new shocks for this thing because, well, this ain't cutting it. They're still a little too long. So he's in the market for some new shocks anyway. So let's get her done. All right, here's a little better look here. Here's the piece that sheared off. That's where she came from. And basically we just got to fit her in here. Try to line this up because I'm afraid it bent some before it actually sheared off. And then glue it back in place as close as possible as we can get it. It's going to be a tough one, but we'll do what we can do for him and get this thing back on the road. All right, we got her all ground down, cleaned up both surfaces. Ready to start welding once we lay our fire blanket in to protect everything. But one thing I noticed is we got to do some welding first right on the actual tower, some bench welding. It's got a big old crack right there and another one right there. So this thing's definitely seen a lot of hitting. So let's get this bench welded first and then we get in there in the truck. All right, there we go. We took care of that crack, bench welded up, as well as that one, and that won't interfere with the shock or anything. So that is good. Let's stick it on the truck. All right, we're all set up. We just gotta find a good ground. We got all of our rubber and hoses protected from with the fire blanket from our friends over at Welder Supply. So I think it's time to stick it on. All right, first things first, we gotta get a few tacks in there to hold it on the inside, then drop the truck down low and get it on the outside of it as well. So we can get this thing sitting even, hopefully. All right. Here we go. There's one. That's two. Now I'm gonna lower it down and see if we can't get a couple tacks on the engine side, which is nearly impossible to get to. And then we'll do a full weld over here, and should be in good shape. All right, honestly not that bad. I had to make a couple of passes, a root pass and then a couple cover passes, but the position it's in and how it is to get to, that is not bad. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Hopefully it'll hold up for him as long as he replaces the shocks. Now let me see what I can get on the engine side. All right guys, we have got the passenger side all welded up. It's not the best weld, but inside the engine bay I was able to actually kind of clad weld and build that weld up out beyond just the crack itself. So I was able to get more in here than I expected I was gonna, so that's good. And then obviously in here we're full welded the same way I added some weld to this thing and layered it to beef it up a little bit. But also I just found that on the driver's side is actually cracked halfway through. So I just talked to Derek. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that wheel off and throw some weld on the inside of that one as well to kind of support it until you can get some new shocks. So let's get there. And we're gonna top coat our welds just because with some black POR. Otherwise this thing's gonna rust up so fast. It'll help prolong the life of this thing a little bit until Derek can get in here and we can come up with a more permanent fix. Especially if he's gonna go coilovers, it's not that concerning, but if he's not, then we should really come up with a better bracing system or something. Take that intake out and do some more work. But I think over the driver's side, and as you can see, the inner portion of the 2-layer mount has been sheared off as well. Well, cracked, not sheared off yet. So we're gonna go ahead and get this cleaned up, opened up, and layer some weld on this as well before it actually shears off. It's round 2. Now we're on the driver's side. We get everything prepped up and ground down. So now, fortunately, we don't have to piece this thing entirely together like the other side, although it's way easier to get to on the fender well than the other side was. But that's fine. It's not fully broken yet, so we caught it in time. Let's get this welded up for him. All right, there we go. Got the driver's side all welded up, cleaned up. I'm gonna throw a little POR paint on there and put the shock back in on this side. Get this thing on the ground where it belongs. All right, guys, there you have it. We got the shocks back in. Everything's welded up. Got a little POR on the welds to protect them from rusting up. And again, he's gonna be getting new shocks here real shortly. We're gonna measure up the shock compressed with this thing on the ground so we can get a better idea of what length he needs, because those things are pounding on that frame. So throw the wheels back on this thing, get it on the ground. Right, she's back on the ground, and I was not joking when I said how low this truck is. I mean, literally, we have to put blocks of wood and drive up on it to even get the lift arms to even think about getting under there. It is crazy low. It's a cool little ride, though. Check it out. He's got the header. Sweet little header on there. Actually, we ended up powder coating that valve cover for him, and I believe we're going to be doing an intake for him as well. He's going to be intake swapping it. He's done a ton of work to the truck. It's a sweet little ride. Very recognized on social media. It's been all over social media. And he has his own YouTube channel as well. So check him out. I believe it's Japanese minitruck. Don't quote me to that, but I believe that's what it is. We should see him shortly and pick it up. All right, guys. He's here. Derrick's here. Up, Japanese minitruck. He's coming to pick up his ride. So hopefully it doesn't bottom out leaving the shop, because this thing is so damn low.
I think getting out of the driveway is going to be a little scary. There's a big lip right there.
Oh, I'm hoping. So we're heading off to a cruise event, and if they park us in the field, you may have an issue at the field too. I don't know. So keep that in mind when you get there. You don't need to be leaving your exhaust on the ground. All right, guys, that's going to bring us to the end of this episode where we helped out Derrick and his mini truck get back on the road. So he's out cruising and slamming some car events, and we're actually on our way now to a cruise together. So thanks for watching. Check out his channel, Japanese minitruck. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe on our channel. Flip and Customize. This is Scott. Take care, guys.